And showtime, ladies and gentlemen, broadcasting from a safe social distance. Welcome to the latest episode of the ChannelPro 5-Minute Roundup, a look at news, trends, and tips for the SMB channel in 5 minutes or thereabouts. My name is Rich Freeman. I am executive editor of the ChannelPro Network. I'm also one of your hosts on this program. I'm joined this week, as every week, by my co-host Eric Simpson, a business transformation and improvement advisor who is sheltering in place in Southern California right now. Eric, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Rich. I'm trying to get used to every single day some new restriction put upon us. The governor last night in California said everyone needs to remain in their houses. So it's getting very, very interesting out here.
Well, I think it's very, very increasingly interesting everywhere. I mean, as we record this right now, we're just hours from the entire state of New York being put under shelter-in-place kinds of restrictions. There are tens of millions of Americans now under some kind of travel restraint or another. And one thing we know for sure at ChannelPro is that all of our readers right now basically are dealing with this. And they're dealing with this obviously as people and as business owners, and they're preparing for the impact on their company and trying to make sure that they're ready to handle all this. But they also have customers to support. And it's a very challenging time right now to get customers set up to remain in business, remain productive, remain operational, if they're not really set up for remote work. And increasing, in California and New York right now, to an increasing extent in the weeks ahead, I think, in other parts of the country, remote work is for a lot of people the only kind of work that's going to get done. So we're going to kind of shake things up just a little bit here on the 5-Minute Roundup this week. Normally we would dive into a story from the news and Eric would offer up his tip of the week. We are rolling those segments together this week because the top story is, of course, the effect of the coronavirus outbreak on channel pros everywhere. And we're going to be providing you some advice, some best practices advice on things that you can be doing today to get yourself and your customers ready. Now, in Eric's case, his tips are going to be based on his years of experience and his broad wisdom. In mine, because I have no wisdom whatsoever, I have been reaching out this week increasingly to our readers who are coping with the situation now, getting their sort of frontline stories. We have a series of articles that's begun appearing on channelpronetwork.com, sort of profiles of different MSPs. And the main point of the series really is to collect these kind of best practices and share them so that we're getting ideas out in circulation for people who are fortunate enough not to be dealing with these sort of shelter-in-place deals. If that's coming your way down the road, here's what to expect and here's what you can do now. So I'm going to dive in, Eric, and I'll go first, and then I'll hand it off to you. We're going to switch back and forth a little bit on this. So I spoke this week with an MSP in New Jersey named Paul Nebb, and the first article in the series is about him. And I was asking him for best practices. One of the things that he said is, there's a concern sometimes among channel pros about communicating too often with customers. I don't want to be a nuisance. I don't want to be a pest. There's a lot, especially right now, everybody has a lot on their mind. And Paul's advice very strongly was, you cannot over communicate with your clients at this moment in time. That you really need to be in regular contact with them. You need to be on top of what their needs are. You need to make sure that they know what you're doing to support them. And in his experience, no matter how much he contacts his customers, he gets nothing but appreciation in response. They appreciate, they want that contact, and they want the opportunity to communicate with him. So tip number one, don't worry about over communicating, worry more about under communicating with your customers.
Absolutely. And Rich, I'm actually at home base here in Southern California, sheltering in place at the home office. And the reason I'm here is I was supposed to be in Kansas on site all week for one of my clients, and it just so happened that some of their staff had come into contact with end users at other locations that tested positive for coronavirus. So that changed the entire strategy of the company. Immediately, a response was put together, and they decided to shift to remote work right away. So I jumped on a plane, got home, and my tips this week, of course, are based upon my experience with other crises, but specifically around real world events that I've been helping clients go through this week. So the first one, and it tags right along with what you just said, Rich, is develop and communicate your COVID-19 work strategy to your customers and staff. So think about things that impact your business and their business. So some of the advice I've been giving clients is letting them know that this is how we're going to respond if you're going to begin delivering work remotely. Let them know that. Let them know that we're only going to be dispatching technicians on site if it is a critical event. Okay, no, cancel all on-site visits, only deal with critical down events, and then explain how your technicians will behave if they are on site. They're going to be practicing social distancing. They won't be talking to folks. They won't be shaking hands, things like that. So think about that, and then communicate to them also that this may impact SLA. So you will be prioritizing critical tickets and also requests for remote user setups, VPNs, to help those clients migrate to their own remote business operations. So you think about how you want to message that and put it out there. Maybe you're going to set up these remote users with VoIP handsets and additional monitors and things like that. I suggest you put together bundles or packages and then drop ship those. Now, of course, you can charge for those things, but I wouldn't charge typically for just setting someone up to work from home. You don't want to be seen or perceived as, profiting off of this. We're all in this together. We're going to pull together and help each other out through this pandemic.
I love it. I love it. That is great stuff right there. And I will take my turn here and I'll follow on from your piece of advice there. So if you are setting up your customers with VPNs or terminal servers or whatever it is that you need to do to enable them to work from home, and there's a good chance all your customers are going to be looking for that kind of assistance at once. And in that kind of an environment, you will be tempted at certain times to cut corners on security. So my tip number 2 basically is do not do that. If you want to inflict the ultimate insult to injury scenario on your customers, cutting corners on security with them is the way to do it. You don't want to get them breached in addition to everything else that they're dealing with right now. So just, they need to get up and running fast. They're going to be pressuring you about that, but make sure you're doing it in a secure way to the maximum extent possible, because the repercussions otherwise could be terrible for them and terrible for you as well.
Great tip, Rich. Great tip. So my second tip is all about, you're going to get a flood of these tickets. You're getting, everyone that I'm talking to and working with is getting a flood of remote worker setup tickets, VPN setup tickets, and things like that. One strategy that I've been promoting to my clients is to set up a separate service board for that, or assign all those tickets to a select number of technicians, 1 or 2 technicians that they're just going to plow through and do those. The more they do, the better they'll get at it, the faster they'll get at it, and take them off of kind of the normal service queue and let everyone else work the other tickets based on priority, but have a special focus around those tickets and segment them off so they don't overwhelm your service board, and then assign specific resources to just work on those. Because in some cases, some of my clients are reporting that they're getting half of their ticket load is these new requests. And this is half of what they currently, another 50% of tickets just for VPN setups in addition to their existing ticket load. So, so capacity plan properly.
And that's a really great piece of advice too. And I especially love the part about, cultivating some expertise essentially on your staff, dealing with some of these cookie cutter requests for VPN, for example. You're going to be doing a lot, and you're exactly right. The more somebody does it, the better and faster they get at it. So that is a great piece of advice. This will be my third and final piece of advice here. This too came to us courtesy of Paul Nebb in New Jersey. And you know what, folks? Take care of yourself. You know what I mean? You got customers to take care of. You got employees to take care of. You've got a family to take care of. All of that is very, very important. But all those people need you to be sound and healthy and available and doing your thing in the difficult weeks ahead. And so make some time for yourself. Try to, get some sleep, get some exercise, do whatever you've got to do. Paul does yoga. Maybe it's yoga for you. Maybe it's meditate. Whatever it is, do something or other to clear your head, get some rest, take good care of yourself so that you're able to stay healthy and strong for the people who are counting on you.
Great point. You know, it makes me think about something I heard the other day. It was just on another kind of a business blog that I was reading, and the point there was all about maintain your normal cycle. Like, don't stay up late, don't sleep in. I mean, maintain your circadian rhythm. Get sleep. Start your day off the way you normally would. Eat properly. Take care of yourself. If you can work out at home, do that. But don't deviate from your normal activity. So my third tip is, I'm going to mash up a couple here because I've got 10 of them, Rich, but bear with me. Leverage video conferencing apps like Teams, Zoom, if you're, and communication apps like those, Slack, things like that. Make sure that your staff that's working remotely is logged in and present on those. Increase your service dispatch oversight. So these people are remote now. Make sure that you're increasing oversight, making sure that you're managing those queues for them, and making sure that you're communicating with them and holding. If I had my way, 3 quick little video huddles a day, at least, if you can. 1 in the morning, kick things off. Everybody's on video. So, of course, attire and personal hygiene and all that. We're not doing service, in our bunny pajamas from Christmas Story, Rich. We're professional and we're doing that. We're going to do a morning huddle, maybe a midday huddle, and then just before the end of the day, close huddle, just to maintain continuity and presence between the team and not feel disjointed.
Great stuff. Great stuff. And yeah, like you said, Eric, you've got 10 pieces of advice already, and you're collecting more all the time based on your own experience and what you're hearing from your clients. So, are you going to be sharing any more of that information someplace people might be able to go?
Yes, I will actually be posting a blog post about it today. And as our viewers know, my blogs are syndicated on the ChannelPro Network's website, so you can see it there. It probably takes a little bit to post, but you'll see it there, if not today, over the weekend for sure. Okay,
fantastic. And that leaves us with time for just one more story here. And by golly, this one is COVID-19 related as well. What else is there? But we're in a bit of a public health emergency right now. And this story concerns someone in your neck of the woods, Los Angeles, Eric, who had a creative approach to emergency preparedness. These are the good folks at Gorilla Tacos in the Los Angeles area, who have been offering emergency taco kits to their customers containing 5 pounds of roasted chicken, 5 pounds of carne asada, a pint of red salsa, a pint of green salsa, tortillas, onions, cilantro, rice, and beans. Everything, you don't want to be cut off from your taco supply, people. So everything you need is there, but that's not all, because these guys are thinking big and they're thinking ahead. They also included 30 eggs and 4 rolls of toilet paper. Now, I don't know what the price tag is here. I'm not seeing that right now, but genius. Well, $150. I just found the price. $150, a bargain at twice the price, people. Gorilla Tacos, if you can still get there, check it out.
Yeah, they've covered all the angles. I mean, all the way to, what happens later. So gotta give them props for quick thinking and, doing something great for the community. I mean, helping out, folks that can't get some of these critical items like eggs and toilet paper. I mean, I've got to tell you, Rich, I've been searching for 3 weeks online. The good news is I found a toilet paper calculator online and doing the math. I mean, I got to give it to these guys. I'm good for 35 days right now for the whole family. So I should be okay.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, I'm looking okay for about that kind of time frame too. Well, thank you. That is all the time we've got this week on the 5-Minute Roundup, folks. Thank you very much for joining us. If you like the show, you might want to take a peek at some older episodes, keep up on the new ones as they become available. What you want to do is go to the ChannelPro channel on YouTube and subscribe to that. Make sure you click that little bell icon there if you want to get notifications when the new episodes go up. To read more installments in our ongoing series of frontline reports from MSPs and VARs who are dealing with the coronavirus outbreak right now, and to read up on everything else that's happening in the industry, because there's plenty going on, you want to go to channelpronetwork.com on a daily basis. Always great new stuff going up for you there. To learn more about Eric and the work that he does with his clients, and maybe even to check out this blog post he was just alluding to, you want to go to eriksimpson.com. ericksimson.com. That is ERICK Simpson.com. So folks, again, thank you very much for joining us. We will be with you again a week from now. Until then, please stay safe, stay healthy, stay strong. And I know it's difficult for some people right now, but please, please, please enjoy the rest of your week. Eric and I are enjoying the rest of your week already.